Come on, get down. Alright, 민식이법, 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 백인 조빙빈, 빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰빰 You gotta get it to say to me. Dun 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 dun
Bum 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 bum.
Breaking job, man.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to yet another day of the Mania Apprentice League 7-key tournament. We are in the semifinals. We're looking at Era Jungle and Delta386 today. And I don't have anybody else to introduce, it's just me. So let's... I think we're in the second warm-up. You got the pleasure of hearing the Machine Gun Scythe style voiceover first, but yeah, this is looking like it could be a pretty interesting match. We've got two very strong contenders thus far. Both have made their way valiantly through this bracket, each being knocked down to loser's bracket at some point. And yeah, there's the end of Identic Conflict for you. And that should leave us ready to just get right into the roles. And because they are in the losers bracket, as I mentioned, this is going to have to be the end of the line for one of them. They are fighting for their tournament lives here. And one of them will go on to face either Charlie's Mad Cut or Orkanos. Or did that match already happen this morning? It did, actually. The challenge is not updated. So the winner of this will go on to face Charlie's Mad Cut, who won 6-0 earlier today, depending on your time zone. But we've got the rolls coming in. Let's take a look. Delta wins with a 57-17. So that means, as our lovely referee elucidates for us, Jungle will ban first and Delta will be picking first. We see Jungle banning Rice 3. I don't blame him at all. That's I can definitely understand that. We could see that coming based on their score post earlier as well. Yeah, that's the core jack pick, if you're not totally familiar with the structure of this pool. And it's a tough one. It's really difficult, and I understand why Jungle didn't want to play that. And we're seeing Delta386 ban Long Note 1, Floating Star. I think that's a good pick against Jungle. Jungle is certainly a stronger long note player here. It's also pretty tough on the coordination. It's certainly one of the harder long note oriented picks in this pool. So that leaves us up to Delta to pick first. I'm not sure where they might want to go. I think something maybe more physical like Rice 1. Just based on Jungle's bans and what they've shown they can and cannot play in the past. I think there is a decent bit of overlap on some of the more mixed technical Rice picks, like Rice 4 and Rice 6 maybe, Rice 5 as well. And Delta's actually going to go with Rice 6. This is playing with Ruby, and I think, if I remember right, the most important part of this map is being prepared for the long jacks. There's a couple parts where you really don't want to get caught off guard. I think mainly near the start. Yeah, because if you mess up on those, you're kinda out of the running, assuming your opponent hits them. And we're already getting into it. Pretty fast, pretty fast. At OD8 as well, it's not a super forgiving pick. It'll be interesting to see how these players will do. I think max combo is like 3,000 something, if I'm remembering right. Maybe that's a different Rice pick, but it's a long one at 3.5 minutes. 180 BPM is pretty quick as well. Quick as in speed, not as in length. We're seeing Jungle come out with an early miss, but maintaining their accuracy, and both players hit the jacks with relative ease. And the accuracies are actually almost tied despite Jungle's early miss, but the 400 combo cap is just gonna do them in for a little while. Oh, and right before he reaches back up there, it takes another miss. But Delta's accuracy also dropped a little at the same section, so not too much is lost. Oh, identical miss. I don't know what that was on. I think it... Yeah, I don't know if there was a funny pattern there or if it was just coincidence. They trade again. Jungle doing a little worse for wear. Delta picks up a significant accuracy lead and they trade again. Another couple misses from Jungle. Delta has built up a significant lead, but they trade it back. Both players below the 99 mark. Delta climbing back up. Jungle recovering to a 98. And with the combo advantage now as well. But a deficit of 25,000 points is not easy to come back from. It's got about a minute and 15 seconds to try and recover though. Couple of chain misses coming out. Delta doing well to hold on to their 500 combo here. A bit of a more straightforward section. Oh, Jungle missing on the, I think it was the spacebar jack there in that little chord jack section. That can be pretty tricky. Delta amassing a pretty significant combo now, and I think it's I really don't like calling it early, but I think it's pretty certainly in Delta's favor to win this pick now. I think this is the last chorus now. Jungle has recovered some of their accuracy, no longer in that 97 range and above the 400 combo cap, but just a little sliver of map left. Not much you can do. Ooh, a miss on the last note, Delta. And yeah, look how close their ratios are. That's actually really fascinating. Only 4 perfects between them, and the 200 count isn't actually all that different either. It's just the bad judgments and the misses. And Jungle is going to respond with long note 3. And that is... I hate Trot. I really like this map personally. It's a faster paced long note compared to something like LN1 or LN2. I'm not sure if 357 Magnum is much faster. Or at least it doesn't feel as fast. Most of the difficulty in this map comes from, like, the faster density sections. It's kind of like Crush Alcohol in that sense. If you remember from the previous round. Yeah, both players doing well, but Jungle, you can immediately see they are a little more comfortable on this with a 99.7, Delta dropping down to a 99.2. I think the most important thing for Jungle to be focusing on right now is keeping combo, yeah. And a couple of misses just proves my point. Delta already takes the lead despite Jungle's accuracy advantage. But here's the more active part of the song. Both players holding, but Jungle picks up another miss. It is still really close. Delta's lost a lot of accuracy in this section, and manages to hold through that fast vocal dump section. Oh, but misses on this rice break. That's really interesting. And it's still relatively close. Jungle is making a lead, but misses at the end there of that phrase. The accuracies are evening out, and in fact they're tied now in lockstep. It's just a fun song to listen to, I gotta say. Good pick, good pick. The second vocal dump section, both players miss on the same part. We're not done quite yet. This is not the outro. Got one more chorus. Jungle dips below a 98. Just for a second, Delta is at a 98.3. Neither really wanting to hold on to combo right now. The last vocal dump, Delta holds, Jungle does not, but Delta takes a miss on the transition there. This ending section is pretty challenging. It picks up in density a little bit. And Delta will be the one to take it by a margin of about 40,000 points. I don't think this was a bad pick for jungle. It's just they got punished by their inability to combo. And in fact, they did have significantly better ratio and very similar 200 counts, but again, bad judgments will do you in every time. Jungle is doom maxing in the game chat. Don't give up hope. You can't call it after 2 picks. It's first to 6. And we're gonna be seeing Rice 2. Rice 2 is Dream of Winds, the Kawawa map. Or rather, one of the Kawawa maps. There's also Rice 5. But this is a pretty different flavor compared to Rice 5. It's, I don't know, it's more kind of chord streaming instead of mixed and delay-y compared to Rice 5. Jungle picks up an early miss. Delta is holding a 99.6-ish. Drops a little. Yeah, Delta establishes an early lead of about a whole %, but Jungle is recovering quite nicely from that early dip. If you're gonna miss, either miss at the very start or the very end. That's where it'll do the least damage, at least. Oh, and both players missed. I actually didn't see that. It looks like they traded on a pretty identical spot. They'll both hit the 400 combo cap at the same time. And Jungle picks up a miss right after. That's really not where you want to be missing. You gotta at least hold for a little while after you hit that 400 combo cap. But some of these denser stream patterns and kind of brackety sections can make it really hard to hold combo. And this is a pretty short pick, so we're just about done actually. Looks like Delta's gonna pick up another point, 3-0 by a margin of 64,000 with only one miss. And again, to Jungle's credit, they did have better ratio. But we're seeing more of a discrepancy in the 200 count this time. That said, Jungle is only down by 1 breakpoint. It is their turn to pick again, and they're going to go with Hybrid 1. Hybrid 1 being... Oh, Harusuge Kocho. I think this is a pretty good pick for them, assuming they know what's coming their way. This is a very interesting pick. It's certainly, I'd say, the easiest one out of the hybrid pool. Most of the map is focused on very simple patterning with like 1 or 2 LNs and some rice around it, you know, simple hybrid stuff. But there are a couple sections in there that are really, really challenging on the rice, focusing on double streams and such. So it's hard to say what's going to happen, but we're seeing another early miss from Jungle, which is not a great forecast for the rest of the map. But they're holding the accuracy advantage nonetheless, and this is the hard part I was talking about, these double streams. Even if you can read them, the coordination element is pretty tricky. And yeah, kind of takes Jungle for a ride there, dips their accuracy. And here we go into the more standard hybrid section. We got these single LNs and simple stream patterns punctuated by these LN density patterns. And again, it's another short pick. Less than 2 minutes, just like the last one. So I think Jungle's tendency to have these really clean misses, despite not hurting his accuracy all that much, will really not do him any favors in a pick as short as this. I would kind of recommend going for something longer. Delta doing a really good job holding 1300 combo and counting. Not sure if they've missed yet, not sure if this is an FC. Oh, and that'll confirm it for me. But a 99.17 is pretty solid thus far, and we get into this anchor section at the end. That's pretty tricky with more of these double streams. And that will wrap it up for a 4th consecutive point for Delta386. Yeah, just one miss. And it is their turn to pick once again. I think they kind of have the pick of the litter here, but they're going to go with Hybrid 3 Happily Ever After, the Juha map in our hybrid pool. This is a pretty unoffensive map. It's a little harder than the other hybrid we just saw, but it's not as hard as Lily, the other hybrid. So it's kind of a nice middle ground. And at OD5, I think it's not super difficult to keep your combo going. And here we go. Will this take us to a match point situation, or will Jungle get on the scoreboard? We will know after 2.5 minutes. Jungle's ratio really able to be seen in this early introduction section. Oh, but that miss. Jungle's ratio is what made them a really scary player in the early game. And some of the shields on this pick can be really difficult, as we're seeing Jungle pick up a couple misses there. Some density, some staggered releases. I think this map is a really good hybrid pick. I think it fits the description really well. It's got a little bit of everything you'd want to see. Delta maintaining a 99.1, Jungle about a percent behind. And we're going to get into the chorus here. Both players holding that kind of dumpy LN section. Jungle missing as we get into the actual chorus instead of the pre-chorus. This is where we're going to see a lot of the density. Delta holding a crazy combo right now, 1600. Their accuracy has suffered a little bit, but they're still head and shoulders above Jungle. Both players struggling a little bit, picking up some misses on that kind of coordination section there. Oh, Delta almost holding through that really dense part. But it looks like they'll be finishing with a 2-miss, assuming things go well in this ending. And that takes us 5-0 in favor of Delta386. Jungle, again, consistently doing better in ratio. And actually coming out on top in the 200 count as well, and the 100 count, but everything below that has a significant advantage to Delta. And I think Jungle will be rolling for their next pick. Don't know what a 3 means. They're going with Rice 5. Rice 5 is Nemuri no Hanataba, the other Kawawa pick. This map is pretty tricky. Especially the ending. There's this really finicky delay section that can just give you a million 200s if you're not really locked in on it. At OD 7.5, it's not the most forgiving either. But it's not, I think it's not as dedicated to delay as something like Rice 1. Neck and neck at the moment. Jungle picks up a 200, swaying it to Delta, and a miss on the transition into the more consistent delay section. We're going to be getting into the real substance of the map soon here. Here's where things really pick up. Kind of a mixed rice feel to it. It's got these both kind of brackety sections, the pinch chords, the delay, the fast chord stream, and they trade misses here. Jungle picks up another for the road. And I think the rest of the map is a delay from here on out. And this section can really get you. There's not much to anchor your sense of rhythm to, but both players are holding through the difficult part. With one final miss from Jungle, that will seal the deal in favor of Delta386. And that'll do it. That is a win for Delta. Good game, well played. Congratulations to Delta for moving on to the MALT finals. In the losers bracket, where again they will be facing oh, they're not actually onto the finals yet, excuse me. Because this is just the first match, I think. So yeah, they're gonna be facing Charlie's Mad Cut next. And commiserations to Era Jungle. It was certainly a good run. making it through the losers bracket up to the semifinals, but that's all we have for you for now. Next matches are 14, 18, and 20 hours from now. So that'll do it. Thank you all for playing. Thank you for coming out to watch the stream. Thank you to Epsilon for both reffing and streaming this match. And it is Rhymes with Mash signing off. Bye.